Derek, let's talk a bit about personnel. After the other night, I noticed with interest that you were heartened by being able to make 11 changes and have players come back. I want to talk about goalkeepers first, actually, because you obviously lost Stuart Moore, and I'll get an update from you on him if I can in a second. It's a very, very specialist position. Only one of them can play. Yeah. How heartening is it when Harry Burgoyne comes in and plays as well as he did at Harrogate and then performs in the trophy as well, to be able to sort of not have number one and number two?
Yeah, I think that's important, and that's why, at the start of the season, it's important you have competition for places, and I've always said that you've got to be comfortable in whoever's going to be that choice. We have 2 right backs, we have 2 left backs, we've got 4 centre halves, fine for 2 positions, and you're comfortable with playing any of them. At one stage in the season, someone will be ahead of each other, but injury, suspension, the other one has always got to be ready, and I'm quite comfortable, playing them.
Are they different to manage because only one of them can play, and unlike all the other positions, you're probably not going to change them on an hour or something?
Yeah, I think that is different, and it's different for them as goalkeepers and training week as well, because the weeks can be long if you don't know that you're going to get that opportunity on a Saturday, but you've always got to keep yourself right. If there's reserve games to play, when you play in them, it's important that you do well and keep yourself taking over, and both goalkeepers have got great attitudes, and we've got obviously Stuart, who picked up an injury. We're waiting to see how he is for Saturday. And Harry played last Saturday and on Tuesday night.
Just on Stuart, the fact that you say you're looking at him ahead of Saturday, does that suggest it's not too serious, it's a relatively small thing?
Yeah, we believe that there's bruising there at this moment in time, so hopefully that settles down quickly, and then we can have a competition for places for both of them.
Competition for places across the pitch is what you always want. I think managers often say, I want 22, 2 for every position. You're starting to get that. I know you talked about George Ray coming back the other night. How much can it improve you if those who are starting suddenly have somebody competing and breathing down their neck?
Yeah, it can, but I don't, think that has affected us. I think that our performances have been good. We've been unable to win the games that we think we should have won and gathered the points from probably games where we've been in a dominant position or had the opportunities to score goals, i.e. Bradford City. We should have won that game, but there's other games that we can talk about. But having the players come back, yes, it does help us as well, but I think that the ones that have been playing, have shown that really good attitude of wanting to stay in the team.
How much of an impact have the last 2 Saturdays and winning a couple of games of football had on that group of players? I know you've said throughout they're not lacking in confidence, but they wouldn't be human, would they, if it didn't make a difference?
Yeah, I think that we look at it in a different way, because we have to look at the performances, but as I said last week, the only thing that matters is the result at the end of the day. And but we need to have performances to go along with it, because there's no point in working in the training ground, working at things, getting better. And I think as a group, since the start, we signed the majority of the players on the 1st of July. It's been a quick window. I think they've combined really well. And, from where we were to where we are now, we're in the next round of the FA Cup. It's only the second time in the history that we've qualified through the group stages of the EFL Trophy, and it's the first time that we've qualified as winners of the group as well. And we're probably 4, 5, 6 points off where realistically we should be.
It's a week since you and I sat in this very building, not this room, talked about pulling teams into this battle, getting closer to those above you. You've done that. That league table suddenly looks quite different, and you've only had 1 game and 1 week. Does that show what a run of results might do? Yeah,
it's wins that you need. It's really important that you get the 3 points. Yes, we've got a difficult game. We play the league leaders here on Saturday in Port Vale, but we're going to have to provide a shock. We're going to have to be at our best on Saturday. Yes, Port Vale are going to have to make errors for allow us to win, but we'll have to have good play, and we'll have to take our chances when they come along.
How important will a home league win be if and when you can get it? Because you've won the other 2 league games away from home, of course.
Yeah, it's quite ironic that, because last season we were very good at home, and then all of a sudden you don't win away from home for a period of time, and I think our home form's always been good at Morecambe, and I think that we're quite confident that that will be our bedrock to the end of the season.
You've been here obviously in 3 spells, Derek, but a long time relatively speaking. Certainly a long time by Football Manager standards. I think it's down to less than a year, the lifespan of a league manager. How would you describe your relationship with the fan base here? Is it the kind of club where you get to know people personally?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here 5 years from the first time that I came here. I came here on the 7th of November 2019, and 5 years in 3 different spells. And I understand the football club, I understand how it works, I understand the supporters, when they've got frustrations at times off the field, sometimes it's on the field as well. So, but we're realistic as a congregation that we understand where we are and the parameters that we're working in. And I think that has always been important for Morecambe Football Club. Where we want to get to and how we get there is totally different, but we will get there together, and that's how the football club has been its way, over the years.
I'm interested in the word congregation there, where I guess in a religious sense, people from all kind of different backgrounds come together because they believe in one thing. Are there similarities with a football crowd? Because I guess there's so many different backgrounds and characters out there.
Well, there is, because they all believe in Morecambe Football Club, and we're all from different backgrounds, and I think that is what makes football such a popular place. Everyone's different on the terrace, and everyone's from a different era, different background, but at the end of the day, they've all got one goal, is to have their football team succeed. And I think that's why the chemistry, around football supporters and football teams is prominent in the community, and that's what drives success in the town, and that people feed off the good feeling that a football club can bring people.
For a big chunk of that 5 years, you've obviously getting to know the players, getting to know the people. The current situation, they're obviously the Shrimps Trust planning the protest for this game this weekend. Do you have sympathy with the supporters for the position they find themselves in?
Yeah, we do. It's difficult because discussions are going off the field, and not everything can come from off the field out in the public domain, and I think that's what everyone finds difficult. And but when you're working inside the football club, that can be the same as well. And I think that it's been a long time. We get where everything is going. We're hopeful that a conclusion can be soon, because that will benefit us hopefully off the field. We don't know. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. Nobody knows. And but what I will say is that in the background, people are trying very hard to make these things have a conclusion and have a good ending.
As we discussed last week, these interviews essentially are you talking to your fan base. What would your message be to people coming to the Port Vale game at the weekend who want to protest, want to make themselves heard?
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone has the freedom of speech, and I think that what the supporters can do for the team is support the team, and and what they have done throughout the years. They go home and away, they spend their hard-earned money to go and see their team get a victory, and they'll come here on Saturday and do likewise. And I think that is important, and we'll see, the Morecambe supporters do that.
Is it more noticeable to you on the touchline? I think they're going to release some balloons. There's perhaps a suggestion they might turn their back on the game for a period. I guess players are in a bubble and have got blinkers on and are concentrating on what's going on. Can you take in more from the touchline, or are you as dialed in as the players are?
Yeah, we're concentrating on the game, and I think that's really important, because as a football player, you see what's on the pitch. You don't see, what's off the pitch at times in that 90 minutes. And it's the same as a manager. I don't look back, I don't look behind me. I think that's important. I concentrate what I can see on the pitch, usually, trying to see how we can do better in the game, how we can coach and improve our players with the information that we give, how we can motivate them, and that's why the manager is on the side of the pitch.
You've always been a spokesman for the club, Derek. I know sometimes that's been frustrating that there haven't been other people answering the questions. You've also been very consistent in controlling what you can control. In this instance, I guess winning football matches, FA Cup prize money will help, trophy prize money will help, staying in League Two will massively help. Do you just have to put your blinkers on and concentrate on that?
Yeah, because when I was here the last time that I did that affected me, and it affected, off the field affected me personally, and I didn't, let that come out, but it did, and that was, part of the choice that I made to move away, because I knew what was going on in the background. This time I've come back, I've asked not to be told of anything until there's a conclusion in the matter, and I think that's important, because then I can focus on what I can deal with, and I think that's what I've tried to do, this season.
Is it quite an emotional subject for you now, because you've got a connection to the players? Do you have a lot in common with a lot of the fans in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm a football manager, a director of football, a chairman, an owner, I run the football club in a different way, you know what I mean? Because that's my way of dealing with the situation, and I'm an employee of the football club, so that's different in itself. I can only speak about the things that I can affect. I can't affect up the way, but what I can try and affect is on the football field, and that's what I've got to do as a manager. If it was in a different role, then quite clearly I could do things in a different way.
Just on the actual opposition in the game, Port Vale are top of the pile. Clearly they've been playing very well to get there. What do they do well? What is it that has got them there?
They've got very good experience. They've recruited well over the summer period to the players that they already had. They come down from League One. They're a club that's rich in tradition. They've taken in players from the Championship, which other teams can't do. And they've got them playing in a certain way that's allowed them to get to the top of the league. And I think that they're going to be a difficult team to play against. But we've come up against good sides in the past and been able to take points off them.
And you're not going to sit here and give me all the tactical nuances, of course. But what do your team need to do well to get a result against them?
Yeah, we have to stop them playing to start with, and then we have to then be good on the ball. We have to be complete our passes. We have to then create the chances, and when the chances are created, we have to take them. And quite clearly, at this stage in the season, we haven't taken enough of the big chances when they come along. They don't come along very often at times, but when they do come along, then we need to be more clinical. And it's vice versa. When the opposition get a chance, then we've got to be very good defensively.